one, we are going to study statistics and do inferences. So our three vocabulary words are census, sample, and population for now. So census is a study where data is collected from everyone in the whole population. A sample is a small part that is representative of a whole, used when it is not possible or practical to conduct a census. The population is the whole group that you are interested in learning about. So, for example, if I wanted to know what students in Miss Gray's math class think, my population would be Miss Gray's math class. If I did a census, I would survey everyone in my math class. If I did a sample, that would be like just choosing 20 random students out of all of my classes. All right, and here is just a visual between census and sample. Census is everyone in the whole group, where a sample is just a select few. All right, so Corey would like to conduct a survey of students at a middle school to identify students' favorite restaurant. 1, what is the population? 2, what situation will represent a census of the population? And 3, what situation will represent a sample of the population? So the population in the survey, it says Corey would like to conduct a survey of students at a middle school. So that would be your population, students at a middle school. A situation that will represent a census, which is number 2, that would be if he surveyed all students at a middle school. To represent a sample, it would be if you say he randomly selected 50 students at a middle school. So Caitlin would like to conduct a survey of customers at Stonecrest Mall to identify the favorite department store customers. What is the population of the survey? That would be customers at Stonecrest Mall. So those are the people that she's interested in learning about. To represent a census, she would have to interview or survey all customers at Stonecrest Mall, and a sample would be randomly selecting a specific number of customers. All right, sampling. Sampling is generalizations about a population from a sample are valid only if that sample is representative of the population. In other words, sample results should be very similar to the results you would get if you surveyed the entire population. So we have fair and unfair sampling. So you decide to conduct a survey to determine the favorite color of middle school students in your middle school. You sample all the boys in the middle school. Is this a fair or unfair sample? Well, since our population is all of, or is just middle school students, it doesn't say boys that are middle school students, it would be unfair because it does not fairly represent the whole group. It doesn't include the girls at a middle school. So here's another one. Claire was doing a project on whether or not the school lunch program provided enough food for hungry teenagers. So she decided to interview the football team. Fair or unfair sample? All right, that would not necessarily be a fair sample because it only includes a certain group of people, which would be just the football team. It doesn't include, as a whole, all the teenagers throughout the school. All right, next one. You plan to conduct a survey in which students at your school answer the question, should there be a school dress code? In order to collect data, you decide to set up a table in the school cafeteria to allow students to vote. This can be an unfair sampling because it is voluntary. When a sample is called unfair, it is called sampling biased. So if it systematically favors some outcomes over others. So examples of sampling bias include excluding particular groups, voluntary responses, convenient sampling, or included too few people. The result of sampling bias is a non-random sample. So a random sample, which means it is unbiased, is a sample that is formed by selecting individuals from a population at random. When individuals are selected at random, every individual in the population has the same chance of being included in the sample. So these are different ways to collect a random sample. Draw names and numbers out of a hat without looking, and then assign numbers and use a table of random digits to select sample. An example of this is on Springboard, page 339.